Hello, my fabulous fifth graders. Today we're going to talk about something that I think you may have learned a little bit about in fourth grade. We're going to talk about idioms. Idioms. It almost sounds a little bit like a word that your mom or dad might tell you not to say. Like, oh my gosh, my dog is acting like such an idiom. An idiom is a phrase that means nothing like what it sounds like. So I'm going to show you a couple of idioms today. And then when we get together as a class on Zoom on Tuesday, we're going to talk about some of the idioms that you hear all the time at your house or maybe have read in books recently. So one of the idioms that I use all the time is this one. That is a piece of cake. And what it means is that is really easy. Something that's a piece of cake means that it's something really easy. But what a strange idiom that instead of saying that's something really easy, we call it a piece of cake. I wonder where that even came from. But that is a perfect example of an idiom. And you'd be surprised how many idioms you use every single day. You're going to have to be really listening to mom and dad and grandma and grandpa today to see what idioms they use all the time. In my house, this is one that I use a lot. All right, let's take a look at another one. In our book, No Talking by Andrew Clements, Dave decided to zip his lip. He decided to zip his lip. And we know that that means he decided to close his mouth and stop talking. But zip his lip, when you really think about it, doesn't mean anything like really what it's supposed to mean. And it's not even something we could really do. You can't zip your lip, can you? Like with a zipper on a piece of clothing. So there's another fun idiom and one that we've seen really recently. Okay, let's take a look at one more. Another good one is, this costs an arm and a leg. And it means this thing is really expensive. But what a strange way to say that, right? I want you to think about this. If you were learning English for the first time and you spoke a little bit of English, but not a lot, and someone was using idioms, it would be so hard to understand what they were talking about. Oh, that's a piece of cake. And in your mind, you'd be thinking, what does cake have to do with this? Where does cake come into this situation? So I want you to think about a couple more fun ones that you might hear all the time. How about, I can't go to school today. I'm feeling under the weather. That's a funny idiom, isn't it? How about if you're trying to tell someone to keep a secret, you say, don't let the cat out of the bag. That's a really funny one. So this is what I want you to do. Think about what other idioms you hear frequently at your house, because I bet you can think of some more. And if you just can't think of any, do a Google search with permission and supervision from moms, dads, and grandparents and see if you can find a list of idioms. And I bet a lot of them will sound so familiar to you. How about this one? Oh my goodness, I was looking for my son's soccer cleats and it was like going on a wild goose chase. Idioms are hilarious. They're a great part of our language, and you're going to see them this week in two pieces of reading. In your Reader Writer Workshop book, our main character is on cloud 9 at the end of the story. That's one of the idioms. And in your anthology this week, you're going to have a great story called Second Day First Impressions, and you're going to have to find the idioms in this story all by yourself. So be on the lookout for idioms this week and have a wonderful, happy homeschool day. See you later, my fabulous fifth graders.